Hi, it's me, Dice. Fast back over the Star Wars figure review. Today, we are not going to be looking at a figgy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on a bit of a Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron binge. And what have we got? Hello, you. Oh, it's the Razor Crest that we're going to have a look at. So get straight into it, guys. You cracking on to that. You got it in the box. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm itching to. That's why I'm doing this video now for you. So you can have a look at it in the box. You've got 3 little micro figs there. Din Djarin, Greef Karga and Grogu. Of course, the Razor Crest ship itself. As we'll look into the packaging, you got Star Wars Launch Edition. There is going to be a variant of the Razor Crest. I believe this is going to include a different version of the Mandalorian, Off-World Jawa and Quill. Don't think there's anything too particularly different about the Razor Crest itself, but ants on a postcard with that one. Keep a placeholder there. I don't think I'll get another one, but if someone does a review on it, feel free to correct past me. So here we are. Here we have the box, the items in the box as well. Series 1 Micro Galaxy Squadron. This is the... There's a certain type that this is. Starship class. I was tempted to get Boba Fett Starship, of which I did see Smith's got in, and then Entertainer of all places snuck in, and I think for the most part the majority of the assortment, nowhere in the UK yet though, has had any of the chase variants, which is kind of interesting. But a little story time here. I went in, Generic Starfighter, I was like, oh, need that. Do you have any more in? Dude, oh, there's just some down here. The other one stuff, I'm like, I need that. Do you have the Razor Crest? Like, I'm not too sure. Felt a bit bad because it was towards the end of the day, close to closing, like 10 minutes before closing. I'm sweating like a madman. So she says, okay, yeah, I'll have a look. Pulls this bad Bobby out, and well, there he is in my hand, and I'm really happy about it. Sorry, slight tangent there, slight deviation. Continuing on with the box, you got that lovely box art. You got some of the features on the side there, which I will run through in the video. Top of the window, so light can get in, so you can see the item that you're buying. Bit of a legalese on the bottom, and then on the back, of course, you've got that card that you can cut out if you did wish. Very, very retro kind of nostalgic feel there. Star Wars, you got the little other features that the vehicle does, and other vehicles that you can purchase if you did so wish. So enough of my little crackhead energy. Let's get this thing open, shall we? I got my little scalpel blade here, and we always cut away from ourselves. Okay, kids, cut away from ourselves. Because we want to live so we can play with our toys. I'm a little bit excited about this thing. I'm loving this line so far. If you haven't seen my other reviews, I've done some other reviews on them, on the various different types. This one is Chunky Boy. So let's just get the little micro figs out first. Keep them in the box, keep them nice and safe for now. The vehicle itself, it's just here. Who needs a Hasbro Razor Crest for silly amounts of money? We can have a little dinky one, boy, you little fellas there who's going to have it. Get onto it. Although we probably won't get a Cara Dune because, well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Am I right, guys? So here I have the Razor Crest itself, and straight off the bat, this is rad. This is so awesome. We'll get into the actual vehicle itself. We'll have a look at the figures first though. So first and foremost, you've got Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, Greef Karga and Grogu. Greef Karga and the Mandalorian are in their more so Season 2 looks. Grogu is in his Season 1 pod, which is kind of interesting choice there. The figures feature the same sort of articulation that the other figures have, so just swivelly arms and bendable legs. The Mandalorian minifigure actually features, if it'll focus, and apologies for my dumpy fingers getting in the way, but a jetpack. So this is very different from the Scout class version, paint wise and in terms of cape and jetpack, because this actually features a jetpack. And this is removable. Just features on a little peg and socket. Now there is an additional feature too, that of which I will get into shortly with the vehicle. Likewise with the Grogu, something a little bit different with this is that the figure actually features a display stand that just slots in via a peg that's underneath the bottom side there. Just really, really remarkable how tiny that is and how much detail they've managed to once again pack into these figures. It's interesting to note in terms of the display stand, it's kind of shaped the similar way as the Scout class vehicles are. There's no way to sort of peg Grogu on like so you can have him zoom about, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, that's gonna do the job if you're playing around with it. So yeah, that's Grogu and Din, and then you've got Grief Karga, who's kind of an interesting addition to this. Nice to see Grief Karga getting some love. And he's, like I said, more in his Season 2 attire, which is great. 3 really, really cool micro figures, I think we'd all agree. But let's get into the vehicle though. And here we have the vehicle, of which is, of course, the Razor Crest. It's beautifully painted. You've got its markings there, looking very, very nice. It's got some nice sort of weathering going on, just a lovely little wash. Something quite interesting and weird to note is the fact that you can see some of the legalese at the bottom, but they're quite well disguised on those underwings. I know companies have to include the legalese, but if they can try and disguise them as well as they have on this, then I'm fine with it. Of course, you've got the guns on the front here, lots of greebling and detailing going on, variation in colour as well. The thrusters look absolutely stellar. It just makes me hope as well we might see some creatures. I'd love to have some ice spiders just dotted around all this thing. Maybe the big creature that, you know, grabs onto it in that first episode. Yeah, there's some really cool features with this vehicle. Lots of removable panels. Well, first and foremost, opening cockpit, of course, where you can see your figures. You can see, I believe, up to 3 figures in there. And also there's a space for Grogu. So there's a little peg hole. So obviously it has a little peg, so you can. This is going to be fiddly because of my chunky little fingers, but you should be able to. There we go. Right, so we managed to do it. Could fit Grogu in there like so. I'm curious if you could fit the other figures in there as well. I'll have to give it a go in a moment and maybe get you a close-up shot of that. Insert Dan to confirm if we can do that. You can kind of do it. Grief has to sit a little bit at an angle, but you can have Grogu in there. Din, not too sure if you'll be able to fit someone else, but you might be able to do it. That's pretty rad. It's pretty cool, man. I like that. Well, if you really want to store your little display stand, there is a place to put that. You can actually open up this panel here. That gives you a little doorstep way, like it features in the show. You can store that in there. Nice and safe. Can't really see at the moment what's inside, just because of it being so dark. But we'll shed some light in the situation, don't you worry about that. And first and foremost, you've got a removable panel on one of these wings here. Try to remember which one it is. It's this one. So you can remove that. So some pesky Joes have stolen it. You can see the inner workings, which is quite cool. Would have been nice to have seen a bit more of that on the vehicle, but you know, one little addition, that's fine, that's cool. So as we saw, we've got the opening panel there. We've also got an opening panel here, which you can remove completely. So you can actually play inside, which is really great to see. And also, the sculpting on the interior of that panel matches up. You know, they could have left that plain, but no, they've actually put little bags on, little doodads and things like that. Just really great to see, and I appreciate that a lot. You know, rather than just having a plain inner panel, it actually feels lived in. You can open up or pop off the top roof here, so you can actually play inside a little bit easier and also access things. There is one particular thing that you do want to access, so you've got your panel there. Like, as you can see now, as we've got some light going on in the situation, you can see the inner detailing of the ship itself. You've got a carbon block here of Mithril, you know, the weird little alien dude that he captured in the first episode, and that can swing, and you can remove that if you did wish out of there. If we open up the hatch there, you should be able to see as well now. Ah, it's too dark. Sorry about this, guys. What I'll do, there we go. You got the weapons locker in there, so you can see all Mandalorian's little weapons and stuff. There's also This is very difficult to do because of how dinky it is. Little flip out feature here. You see that? So you can put mithril, remove the carbon block. So there's the carbon slab of mithril just there. Really, really cool. You've got a carbon freezing chamber, or maybe a figure. You can store a figure if you want. So you can have a pre-carbon freeze, then freeze over there's the carbon block in that. That's really, really sweet. Of course, you've got the cargo net and all the little doodads and just really awesome. I love that detailing. You know, it's not painted, but it's there, and I appreciate that. You know, it gives you a sense that it, like I said, is lived in. Also, this back panel does flip out, so there's lots of entry, lots of accessible ways to get into this, and I mean you can use this as storage as well if you do have any of the little speeder bikes. And you've got like a little takeaway playset. What's not to like about that? Oh, and just before I forget, the additional feature with the Mandalorian's jetpack, you can store it on this little peg here. If I just try to do that for you now, but yeah, you can store his jetpack just in there like so. So then obviously when he's sat in there, that's not getting in the way. That was one of my biggest problems, I think, with Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. To get the figure to sit in that vehicle, you had to take his cloak off, and there's no real place to store it on the vehicle, you know, if you are taking it out to play. But yeah, the fact that you can do that with this, that's great. I mean, there's plenty of storage on this thing. Additionally, you've got landing gear, of which does pull down, like so. There's one strut at the bottom there. So you've got landing gear. Again, the only thing that would really completely sell this vehicle for me would be if they included that more than needed flight stand. A flight stand would have really benefited a lot of these vehicles. This vehicle itself, do not get me wrong, fantastic, looks absolutely brilliant. So much playability, so much fun factor. I really can't recommend it enough. Is it worth the £30 or so price point? Not quite. Again, if it came with a display stand, 110%. I do strongly recommend it though. I'm really loving this line. I'm loving what Jazzwares has in store for us. Like with all these vehicles, I can't put them down. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What are you feeling of this line? Are you digging it? Are you not? Are you planning to pick some bits up? Aren't you? Let me know. Sound off in the comments down below. And well, this is me, Danny Least Professor. So that, and thank you very much for watching.